Without real estate, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? So my gosh, where do we start? There's so many stakeholders. Just to take a step back, there's so many stakeholders, all critical, none more important than the other, by the way, in hospitality. So there's obviously your employees, your guests, the owner of the building, the management of the hotel, but really super important, the community where you operate, right? So you have to have an understanding of real estate because, again, this is where you're going to be planting your flag. You cannot move your location, okay? The best hotels are curated for every single guest. By the way, that doesn't mean just the guest that is paying for the hotel room for that one evening or whatever the length of stay is, but also the community. Are they going to go and are they going to become patrons of your hotel? Are they going to dine in the hotel? Are they going to use it maybe for a meeting? Maybe they want to stay there. Maybe they want to celebrate something there. So you have to know about real estate to know where to open. By the way, real estate is extremely important. About 40% of all carbon emissions come from the built environment. So you got to be sensitive to that. But there are so many, honestly, there's so many applications. From the community bit for me is something I feel very passionate about. A proper building or a proper collection of buildings can make or break a neighborhood. Okay, it can. So, you know, there's so many city centers that, you know, that are dilapidated right now. And it's very sad. It has a massive economic implication to the people who live there or work there or commute to that city center. The best development that I've seen right now, so, you know, world class, we're working on at JLL and here at Accor, we're working on several projects in the Middle East. But you take what's going on in Saudi Arabia at the moment, which is experiencing a very big development boom, of course. It's not just putting buildings one right next to each other and saying, you know what, that's the community. It's placemaking. So you also need to take that into consideration when you're working with real estate. What are the uses around it? You know, how are you going to curate the best community for it? If it's not attractive, people are not going to come into your building or your hotel, no matter how nice the room is, right? So there's so many moving pieces. And just from an investment perspective, we have to be mindful of the owner of the building, the investor who is giving us, you know, the keys to operate or manage their hotel. It's an investment at the end of the day. So we got to generate a very appropriate return that will help it get financed, you know, that will dictate what the value is, so on and so forth. So I don't know. The reason why I got into it, it's because one, I loved hospitality, but I wanted something a little bit more scientific, you know, something a little bit more tangential. And I thought real estate is it. The reality, and you probably heard the story before, I discovered real estate because of an amazing professor at Cornell. And ever since then, you know, I've loved it. So, if I could explain with words what I feel towards it, you know, we'd be talking forever. But it
I
is
appreciate, yeah.
a great manifestation of placemaking. That's what it is.